What happened to the microphone?
2, 3, 4. I'm excited about this one. This is a really popular Rush tune. A lot of you suggested it, and so here it is. It's the intro for Spirit of the Radio. It's part of this Neil Peart series. Peart series that we are doing, and I am just pumped about it. This one is a good representation, and another intro that I'm going to be breaking out, YYZ, is going to be a really good representation of theory meeting actual music. And so use this to inform your playing. It's really important that you don't use it as a crutch, but as a tool to help you learn it quicker, but immediately go back to the music and play this stuff. Now here's the deal. This thing has a tempo change in it. He slows down on a few measures of the fills. There's a lot of stuff going on that you're not going to catch unless you go listen to the recording and get that in your brain. There's an odd measure of 5/4 in there. It's just a couple things to watch out for as well. He plays like 8,342 toms on this, and so I adjust it for a 4-piece setup. You can adjust it for a 3-piece or a 2-piece, but I'm going to kind of tell you where that is. Go download the sheet music. It's in a link. It's in the video description as well as in a pinned comment. Totally free, but you really should look at this so that you can understand it and break it out with me as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Turn on those notifications so you'll know when the rest of this series gets posted, when new lessons come up, or whenever I go live. But let's jump over on the kit and let's break down this awesome intro. So let's just dive straight into this. We got a lot of ground to cover to get through this whole intro. So it's a pretty fun intro to play though, I must say. There's made a couple of adjustments because of how many toms he has, but I'll kind of point out where those adjustments are, and you can download the sheet music. I would advise you to do that. Again, I can't stress enough. Look at the sheet music, but use the sheet music to inform you of what's going on, because there's some tempo changes and things like that that just happen in real time. And so you need to like check out the sheet music, get the notes down, and then go back to the recording and play it like 3,874 times, right? That's how we get the song and the feel for the song, all of that. So this is just meant to be like the nerdy breakdown part, all right? So the first two measures, this is in 4/4 time, and the start of this is about 137 BPM, okay? So it's moving pretty quick. The first two measures are just the guitar intro, whatever he's doing there, right? So 8 counts or 2 measures of 4/4 time. We come in on the third measure and we come in with a double crash on the 1. So it's simply going to be 1, right? Easy enough. All right. First measure, done. The next measure, which is going to be the 4th measure of the intro, is going to be on the 2 toms here. So I'm going to do this with a 4-tom setup. You can adjust it to a 3-tom setup if you want to. But bottom 2 toms, and we're going to hit simply 1 E. And then we're going to rest until the and of 2. So it's going to go 1 E, and then and 2 E and 3 E, and on the and of 3 we come in with a flam here on the high tom, and then on the E of 4 we have another flam. So it goes 3 and 4 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Let me play those first 2 measures for you. Little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that goes directly into the next measure. So that's measures 1, 2, that's the guitar, then 3 and 4. This will be measure 5 of the intro. We have your second and third tom is going to go 1 E and then rest and Then we come down to the next 2 toms and it goes 2 E, rest and We rest 3, and then on the and of 3, we come in with 3 E and 4. I'm going to be referring to sheet music just to make sure I get all this right. It's a lot to cover on the intro, and I want to make sure I get all the notes right. So it goes 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. All those together. All of that so far is in 4/4 time. Now they stick a measure of 5/4 in there, okay? For that really, it's like I know you've listened to it and you're like, that sounds kind of off. Well, it's because it's a measure of 5. So we're gonna do here on the third tom, it's gonna go 1E and then we rest on 2. On the and of 2, we have 2 32nd notes. So it's gonna go 2E and and we actually start the downbeat of 3 with the left hand, which allows us to move to the next tom because it goes 3E and So it goes 2E. Now on 4, we rest on 4 and we hit the E and the of 4. So it goes like this. It goes 4E and 5. 4. Let me hit it on this floor tom. I get mixed with so many floor toms. 4. Then we're going directly into the next measure. We're back in 4/4 time, and it's just like that third measure that we did up there when we came in from the guitars. It's just a double crash. So we crash on 1, and then we let that ride until the next measure, all right? And that's whenever it starts getting crazy. So let's play everything we have so far. All right, so I'm gonna break out these next measures and then I'll play it all together slowly once I get them all broken out, all right? So we're at measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, measure 8 of this intro. We have the floor tom hit again, so it's gonna go 1E, we're back in 4/4 time, remember? And so it's gonna go 1E and 2E and on the of 2, we're gonna start with 2 pickup notes to 3. And so it's gonna go on 3E and they're 4 accented snare hits. Then he comes to his, what would be my second tom, and he's gonna play 3 sextuplets, if you will. So it's gonna go on beat 4. That whole measure. Then he goes directly into, it's a cool thing because whenever he does these turnarounds where it's like a 3-note pattern, it turns his hands around so that he can go down the toms on the E's and the U's starting with the right hand. And that's what happens here. So we start the next measure, right? Because we played this. We started on the left hand here, and then he has 2 floor toms, but I'm gonna combine these as 1 floor tom. You can download the sheet music and see exactly how he plays that one. So he's gonna come down here, and it's gonna go 1E and 2E and all right? So let's play that. We're gonna play that measure before that. On beat 3, he goes directly into coming up from the floor toms, all right? And again, I'm gonna kind of mess with the 2 floor toms down here just for a second. You can download the sheet music and see exactly how it lays out. But I'm gonna use this as a bottom floor tom, and he plays that pickup note again on the E of 3. So it goes 3, E, and 4, E, and then he hits a crash and a snare together. It's a pretty cool little lick right there. So he does that. Then we're going to go directly into this next measure just so I can play it all together and show you what it sounds like. In the next measure, he rests on the downbeat of 1, and then on the and, he plays a double stop here on the snare and the floor tom. So it goes 1 and 2 E and Then he plays that same type of lick that he played on beat 3 of the measure before that. 3 E and then he goes down the toms, 4 E and a crash on the and that's why that groove feels so weird, because he comes in on the and rests on the downbeat and comes back in on the and with the full groove. All right, so that's a lot of notes. Let me play this thing so far and let you hear how it sounds. All right, that's roughly going to be kind of how that, once you've learned this, it's hard not to play it at full tempo. So, and during those 3 measures, in 2 measures before the groove comes in, he actually starts slowing the groove down so that they can come into the tempo. And that last measure of fills, he slightly swings it. All right, so there's a lot happening there, but that's what's going on. All right, so then we wind up at 97 BPM in the next measure. And we have a 16th note, very slightly swung ride cymbal pattern here, and he starts on the and of 1. So it's gonna go, the kick drum goes 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and That goes into the next measure where he hits the and of 1 again, hits the of 2 on the kick drum, and then on 3 he's going to play 3 E and 4 E, and then and on a crash. So and with the kick drum. Let me play those measures. Remember, I'm straightening this out for demonstration, but it's slightly swung. Then the next measure is going to be that groove continued. 1 E and 2 E and on the kick drum. 3 E and A triplet pattern with flams. So it's going to go triplet. I'm not taking a lot of time to break out like, what is a flam? What is this? Because I'm just, in this type of lesson, I'm assuming you already know that. There's way more to break out. And so we're going to go here. It's going to go. Then we speed up again. We speed up to about 138 BPM. So it's going to go crash on 1 with a kick drum, 2 E and 3 E and 4, open it up, and then he crashes on 1 again. Then he's going to do 2 beats of triplets. 1, triplet, triplet, open it again on 4. So 3. And then we have the build. The build for the last 2 measures is going to be this. It's a crash on 1 with the kick drum, a build between the floor tom and the snare drum, 8th note build. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the next measure, he crashes on 1 with the snare drum and a crash cymbal and goes to triplets. Ba 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 ga. Okay, so kind of that swung triplet. And then he goes into the infamous Neil Peart ride cymbal bell groove, right? Or some variation thereof. I've actually got a lesson, if it's not posted yet, it's coming on that particular groove because it appears so much in his playing. All right, so that's the whole intro in a nutshell, right? So now I'm going to demonstrate this at a slower tempo, and then I'll up the tempo and show it at full tempo. I'm not showing it with a click because there are tempo changes. Again, we use the theory to inform the actual playing portion. So once you learn this, take it directly back to the music and play it like 8,000 times with the music. Starting with the 2 bars of guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there you have the breakdown for the Spirit of the Radio intro. It took a little bit longer than I thought. So it's quite complex. There's just a lot of notes. And so the best thing, I can't stress this enough, the best thing to do is take the theory and let the theory be a tool that you use to help you learn this. Take it directly back to the music after you have kind of dissected the notes, and then you'll be able to put them together and play the tunes. Hopefully this has helped you out. Be sure and check out the other lessons in the series. There's going to be top 3 fills, there's going to be top grooves, there's going to be some more intros, there's going to be several other breakdowns of the ride cymbal groove that I talked about that he goes into at the end of this song. So be sure and check out the rest of this series. Download the sheet music if you have not yet. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's your favorite part of this intro. Like, what part is you like, man, that's just a cool lick, because there's several of them. As well, if this has helped you, hit that thumbs up button and just share it with somebody that you think it may help as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. Turn on the post notifications so that you'll be sure, and that's dinging that bell right there on the subscribe button so that you can make sure to be notified whenever new lessons go up or I go live or whatever that is. But whatever you do, I'll see you here in the next video. Go practice.